everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystigon Board Game Geek, bringing you a new playthrough. This time we're going to do might be a little longer playthrough, I'm not sure, but we're going to be playing Salvation Road by Van Ryder Games, designed by Michael Kelly and Peter Gaussis, I believe. Anyway, the world is a wasteland. We're going to be playing in a apocalyptic world where we're trying to, our base of operations is failing. The reactor is starting to leak, and we have a limited amount of time to get out of our base of operations and head toward a place called Salvation, which will take us in and is a safe place to go. Yeah. So we are going to need to travel there and gather our stuff to get to the location with our people that are in the camp. And during that, we're going to be suffering events such as terrible marauders and bad starvation and other things that could injure us. It's just terrible. Oh, the world's horrible. But anyway, we're going to try and get to the city, the town of Salvation and safety. But to do that, we have to fill up a truck with resources to get us there, and that's the primary effort of the game. What you have here is a very cool main board that shows the town of, I think it's called Montecito or something like that. Maldito. The town of Maldito, where our base of operations is. And you can see our survivors down here. And here, I'll go over the survivors in a minute. And this is actually not taped on. I know it looks like there's some tape there, but it says Home Sweet Home, shows our compound. We know that it's failing. These are locations that we can scout to start to gather resources that are going to get us to the town. And what we also have to do is scout out what we have to do to get to the town. So for example, we have one of 4 cards, because I'm going to be playing a 3-player solo game. We're always going to have players plus 1. One of 4 cards that we have to fulfill to get to Salvation. And these cards, we don't know exactly the numbers we need, but we do know that for our first card, we're going to need food and fuel for the first leg of our journey to stay off the interstate near Salvation. And when we get to Salvation, there's also a toll. There's going to be 1 card per player. Well, at least in a 3-player game. So that's going to be tough too, because when we get there, we have to have enough resources to fulfill that, and we don't know what it's going to be. Now, there's lots of ways to lose this game. One way to lose the game is too many marauders gather around our fence. If I run out of these tokens, we are in serious trouble. We got motorcycles and buggies, and they're going to start raiding along the fence. If we don't kill them, then we're in bad shape. Also, each player has 2 characters, a survivor and a hero. The heroes are tougher. This is an example of one of our heroes, but we'll go over them in detail in a moment. They have a special ability that's positive, and then their survivors usually have a special ability that's negative. And we're going to have to get, if any player loses both their characters, we lose. We lose the game. Another way to lose the game is if we run out of cards. It's like a turn tracker called the Apocalypse deck. That is this deck right here. If we run out of those cards, then we also lose the game. And last but not least, if we have not filled our truck up enough to get us to Salvation, and we run out of resources on the way, we lose the game. Now, how do we win? Well, we got to get to Salvation. That's the only way to win the game. But let's go over to our characters and take a look at what they are. And as we play the game, you'll start to understand better how it goes. There's other videos on this game, so you can look it up as well and see. But we're going to just gloss over the characters and the rules slightly. Now, the board is also set up very cleverly. Like, for instance, you see this little section right here. This shows us how many cards we need to get across to Salvation. It also shows here how many resource cards we're going to draw when we get there to see what our final resource requirements are. It's pretty rough. Alright, so let's go talk about our characters. Okay, our first pair is Long Shi. He's tough. It says Long Shi never reveals wound tokens. You'll understand that as we play. And the person that he's with is Ivana Lopez. She's annoying. When she moves to a location, delay every character at that location. So we either want to move her second or keep her away from the other players. Now that's player 1. This is the characters. You see, this is the first player token. Those are the 2 characters that they have. Player 2 is right here. This is Kai Apisi, Eagle Eye. She's it looks like an American Indian. Her action is search, then immediately gather. That's really powerful. And she's palling around with Jose Barrios, who's a coward. Jose cannot be assigned wounds from a threat roll while there are other characters at his location. It's because he's cowering. He's hunkering down. He's a coward. Last but not least, we have Dante. He's pretty awesome. He's got his dog. It says once per round, Dante may send a resource to or take a resource from another character of the truck, because his dog can take it for him. It's a very powerful ability. And then when he's with Susan Davis, who is she's damaged. She's in a wheelchair. And it says to resolve a move action, Susan must pay an extra action or take a wound. So we only get 2 actions per turn. So basically, unless she wants to take wounds, she's down to 1 action per turn. She's a really weak survivor, but I dealt them out randomly. So heroes and survivors, just to see what we get. If we got to pick them, I probably wouldn't have picked her. But anyway, let's go back to the board. Now we get 2 actions per turn. Now what are the actions? Well, we can gather a resource. We can move to a location. That's an action. We can gather a resource. That means we take 1 resource from a location that has resources. We can search, which moves the threat tracker up. You'll see what that looks like. And we'll draw a resource card and place resources at the location. We can rest to remove a face-down wound. We can fight. Now that's at the compound. We can discard Marauders from the fence, but we have to roll a die to see if we take injuries. We can shoot. Now this is cool because if we shoot, we use an ammo token up, which might be necessary to get us to salvation, but we get to discard 3 Marauders off the fence so we don't make any dice rolls. We can heal, requires meds, discard a med token, discard 3 face-down wounds or 1 face-up wound, so we want to try and keep the wounds face down. You'll understand what that means when we play. And to recover, stand a character up if he's been delayed. That means one of your actions is just getting up. And then transfer. The first one's free, the other one's cost an action, so we can transfer 1 resource to another character that's in our area, or vice versa, or as many resources to the truck or 1 from the truck. Those are our actions. And then we got some other things with locations, but we'll see how. I'm going to leave that out until we get there. We'll discover the locations as we go. I think let's just get started and see how this game plays out. I think you'll like it. It's a lot of fun. I like games that is cooperative, and it has some interesting twists on it. So it is at its heart a less complicated version, or less deep version of Dead of Winter. I mean, you got someone with 2 characters. I mean, in Dead of Winter, you can end up with as many as you can muster, 2 characters per player, and the mechanics are just simpler. So we're going to get started, and of course, I showed you that the first player that we had was going to be the Longchi Ivana Lopez player. So we're gonna first take an action with one of those players. We're going to take 2 actions. What we're going to do is take their token and place it on their card to show that they have activated, and we're going to take their actions. So I think we're going to start with Ivana, and this is Ivana's token right here. She's simply going to move to this first location and reveal it. So what did we found? We found St. Joseph's Hospital. If you end your activation here, you may discard 1 unrevealed wound. That's pretty powerful. So we take her standee, Ivana Lopez, and she's going to go here. And that doesn't do anything bad for us, but we're going to also take a threat marker, and we're going to put it right here on the 0. Right now we don't have any threat there. And then for her second action, she's going to search the location to see what resources are there. Here is the search deck, and I'll just give it one more random shuffle, just so it's nice and shuffled up. I'll draw the first one. Okay, we're going to put 2 fuel and 1 med kit there. All right, so let's do that. We'll take 2 fuel, which are way up here in the corner. 2 fuel. We'll put them on that location, and 1 med kit. And that is going to be the entirety of her action, right? So Ivana Lopez went. We've taken her action. Now we go to the next player, which is going to be Kai or Jose, and I think we'll play with Kai because she can move and gather. That's pretty powerful. So we're going to take her standee. It's right here. Well, I think we'll just move to the next location here so we can uncover it. We're going to scout the location. It's Historic Maldito. And what does it say? As an action, you can search, placing 2 of each indicated resources in the supply. Well, so here's how that's going to work, because she's going to do that as her. So she's moved there. Now for her action, I wonder if this applies search. So if she searches, I don't think, if she uses her ability to search, I don't think she gets that bonus. So I'm going to say she doesn't, but we're going to search. And we're going to gather some resources there, so we're going to get 2 food and an ammo. That's not too bad. So 2 food and an ammo. Now remember, in the first one, in the first card, we know we need food and gasoline. We've got all that covered in here. Now remember, as her special ability, she gets to gather immediately. So I think we'll take the ammo Now we'll take the food first because we know we need that. We're going to take a food and we're going to place this right here on her character sheet. She has gathered a food. Oops, I'm forgetting something. Minor, but I'm forgetting it. When you search a location, that's when you move the threat marker up. So hers started at 0 as well, and so we got those two moved up. They're still at 0, which is okay, but we have searched there. So searching meaning we've put out resources. Okay, now let's go on to, that was Kai, so now we're going to go down to the third player, who's a combination of Dante and Susan. I think what we'll do is we're going to move Dante first. He's going to move here to this location. It is the observatory. This is one of our main locations. This says delay another character here to scout. Now scouting allows us to put out another card for our road to salvation. Or delay and wound another character to explore. So we can delay and then wound and take a wound to turn over and see what we actually need. We go and scout that area out, but it hurts us. Anyway, Dante's going there first. We're going to put a threat marker on there. And of course, the best thing and smartest thing for him to do right now is search. So we're going to do that. So we're going to move the threat marker up to there. We're going to search the location. 2 ammo and a food, or gas. That's pretty good. So 2 ammo there and gasoline. So right now we spread out and we start searching the area. That's pretty good because we don't really have anything hurting us yet. So that was Dante. Now we go back up to, we're going to circle back around. We used Ivana first, and now we got Long Shi. And I think he is going to, you know what he's going to do is go to, debating whether or not he goes to the new location. Yeah, he'll go to the new location first. So he's going to go over here. We're going to flip that over. We found the breach reactor. It says, as an action, take 1 wound, take a resource from the supply, and matching resource from the pool. So we get 2 resources when we take that action there. That can only be done once in a full turn, and you'll understand how that goes as we play. But let's take his second action to search. So we get 2 ammo and a med kit here. And that is going to be, and then we got to move, take a threat counter, and we're going to move it from nothing to 0 because he searched. All right, basically everybody did their thing and searched, and except for Kai, who was able to search and then immediately gather, which she did do that. And we've got everything explored and open, and that's going to end our phase. Now, the next thing that happens is we go to what is called the, let me show you you know what, there isn't a turn thing that tells you the different turns. I guess just your actions. Well, anyway, it's in the book, so we'll show that to you. It's on the back of the book. We're going to go to the threat phase right here, which means we're going to roll some dice. Now what's going to happen is we're going to take the number of players plus the threat level, and we're going to roll on these dice, and it could result in a wound for us. By the way, these are special Kickstarter dice. They're nice and metal. They're awesome. Might put some dings in my board, though. That's the only problem with them. But we're going to roll to see if we can actually not get wounded. So we're going to start here with Ivana. She rolled nothing, so she did not get... Oh, wait, we're not done yet. Brr, 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 brr. Getting ahead of myself. We still got 2 characters. That was just Long Shi. We still got Jose Barrios and Susan Davis. So Jose... Now we know we don't want somebody hanging out with her. That is bad. I think what we're going to do with Jose is we're going to take him. He's going to move to the historic Maldito district, where he will search using this action. So that's going to put the threat level up to +1. Then we take this token and we cover it like so to show that action has been used. We're going to draw a card. We're going to get 2 med kits and a gas. Now remember, the ability of the location is search placing 2 of each type of indicated resource in the supply. So placing 2 of each type. So that means we're going to get 3, I believe. Let me just look at the location ability just to be sure that's how it works. That is historic district action search placing 2 of each type indicated resource in the supply. Okay. From the supply, rather. So I'm going to say... Yeah, I'm going to say that's the way it works. So we get 2 of those. And what was the last one? It was a Where'd my card go? Where'd my card go? I didn't think I'd put it away yet. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right on the board. And then two gasoline tokens. Boom and boom. I think it's only 2. I'm going to put this one back. I think because there's already 2 on the card, you don't get an extra one. Boom there. Just make sure that says search, placing 2 of each indicated resource. Yep, so we got 2 there. So there's lots of resources there, but we're a threat +1. That was Jose Barrios' turn. Then we got Susan Davis. All she can really do, I don't know, she might stay at the compound in case, She can move, but if she moves, that's going to put two people there. She could gather next turn. She doesn't want to go to Ivana's place because she'll be delayed. You know what she's going to do? She's going to move to the reactor with her man Dante. So Susan followed Dante to the reactor. Okay, now we go to our threat phase. So I rolled for her, nothing happened. Now we got 2 characters there, so we're going to have to roll 2 dice. And hopefully neither of them take a wound. So one of them is going to take a wound at that location, and we have Kai and Jose there. Now Jose cannot be assigned a wound from a threat roll. So we're going to take one of these random wound markers. We don't know what it is. We're just going to take that, and we're going to place that right here on Kai's board, and hopefully it won't get turned up when we go to the apocalypse phase. Oops, sorry, getting in the groove. I have to roll another die because we're at +1 threat there. So hopefully, another wound. And it's going to have to go on Kai again. So Kai has now 2 wounds. She's probably going to be running off to the hospital pretty soon to take care of those before they become a problem. There's a lot of med kits out on the board though. Okay, that was there. So now we go to here. We got 2 characters there. So we are just going to roll 2 dice there. And it's 0 threat at this point. So we took a wound there. I think, man, I'm not doing too well with that. I think Dante will take the wound. So we'll put this wound marker on Dante's character. And then we go to the last location there, the breach reactor where Long Chi is. There's only 1 character up there, just him. He's all by himself, 0 threat, and he took no wounds. Okay, that ends the threat phase, but now we have to draw our first apocalypse card. Let's give this one more shuffle and a cut, and then we'll leave it alone. But I did take 5 random cards out of here. That's how you play the game. So there's 5 random cards out of the deck. And what do we get? Death, Acid Rain. This is to say it's a death style type card. So we're going to look here to see how many Marauders. In a 3-player game there's going to be 2. So let's do that first. So the first thing that happens is 2 of these little motorcycles show up along the fence. They're scouting out our base. They don't know we're not there yet. I'm just going to put them along the top right now. That's bad news for us. And it says each character must drop a resource or discard a resource from the supply. Oh, I also forgot to do this, but there is already a food in our truck, and I didn't even talk about the truck, but we'll talk about that. We're filling up a truck. Okay, each character must drop a resource or discard a resource from the supply. Well, okay, so the only person that has a resource in hand was Kai. So she drops her resource. I get... let me think about that for a moment. Okay, that gets placed back in the supply there, so we drop that one. But every other location, because no one was carrying anything, has to drop. It says each character drops a resource or discard a resource from the supply. So since neither of these characters do that, we'll discard an ammo from the supply. Here we'll discard another ammo from the supply. And let's see, over here we'll discard a gas. And over here we'll discard... Well, we need gas. We'll discard the med kit from here and the med kit from here, I guess. Okay, that was that part of the card, and the flavor text says all we could do was watch as the food we needed so desperately sizzled away. Characters at the compound could ignore this, but we didn't have any characters at the compound. And that was, again, the Acid Rain card. So that was the first of our Apocalypse cards, and now we get to go back around, and we move the first player marker down to Kai and Jose Barrios. Take all the tokens, activation tokens off their cards, so we know that they did not activate. And we could have used, well, we'll use it this turn, Dante's special ability. But first we're going to start with Kai, who's already got 2 injuries. Now this token goes away as well because it's a new round. she could go to the hospital, but the annoying person's there. But it says when she moves to a location. So I think you can move to her location without having that effect. Because I think what she's going to do first is gather. She'll gather a fuel. So we need that for our truck. That's Kai. And then she will move over to the hospital for her first turn. Or that's her total action. Yeah, she'll do that. Now she could have searched again and gathered, but we're already at a 1 threat at the historic Maldito, so we don't want to do that. But she moved over, so she'll end her turn there. It says if you end your activation here, you may discard an unrevealed wound. So she's going to do that. She's going to discard one of the unrevealed wounds. We'll discard it out of the game right now. And then that is it. There's no additional threat adjustment there because we haven't gathered anything yet or searched any further yet. Okay, next we're going to go down to Dante and Susan. I think we'll do Dante first. He's going to activate. He will, now remember, he's got the ability to gather things immediately. So he's going to gather a gas for his first action. And once per round, Dante may send a resource to or from. So he's going to do this. The free action, he's going to immediately move that gas to the truck where it's safe. That way we're starting to build up resources toward our required destination. Okay, next up we have Longshi or Ivana. I think we'll go with Ivana. Oh wait, we still have another action with Dante. He's going to take this ammo and just put it in his stuff for now. So he did 2 actions. 2 actions were to gather. He gathered up resources, but once per round he was able to send one back for free. It did not require an action; just required the use of his ability. So he did that. Okay, now we go to Longshi or Ivana. I think we'll do Long first. He has no wounds. He is at the breach reactor. It says take 1 wound, take any resource from the supply, and a matching resource from the pool. Does he want to take a wound for that? Is it worth that? Because we don't need med kits yet, but I'm sure we will. As I was thinking he'd take the med kit from there and I'd give him 2 med kits to bring back to the compound. Now he never turns up his wounds. So let's do that. We're going to use the breach reactor ability, so we're going to cover it up. We're going to take this med kit and we get a matching resource from the supply. So you get 2 med kits. I'm going to put that in his stuff on his board. I'll show his board at the end of the round. And that's going to be his first part of the activation. For his second part, well, he could gather up the last resource there, or he could search. I think searching again is going to put him in a +1 threat, and he can't move away. So he could take those 2 medkits back to the compound. That would be helpful. Let's do that. He's going to move back to the compound. Or he can, for free, take the 2 medkits and put them in the truck. So he's going to do that. So now we got 2 medkits in the truck, a fuel and a food, and that is going to be his total activation. Now we're going to go back down to Jose Barrios. It's his turn to act, and we know what he's going to do. He's a coward, but he's just going to hunker there. Remember, he's a +1 threat. He doesn't want to stay there. He's going to gather a food, and I think he's going to move back so we don't have to roll 2 dice for him to take a wound. Well, because he can't take as many wounds as some of the other characters. He can only take 5. So I believe, well, we could gather 2 resources. He could take a wound. He might take 2, maybe. But we'll do that. We're going to leave him there. We're going to take a food and a gas because we need both of those currently for sure. So he stayed there and just gathered. That's his entire 2 actions. Okay, now we're going to move on to Susan Davis. She is here. She's got nothing that she could do. She could do the delay another character here to scout, or delay and wound another character to explore. Well, she can delay herself. She only requires the extra action if she moves. So she could search too. But we would prefer not to because we're at a 0 threat right now, and then we get wounded. I think she's going to do that. She's going to delay. Well, she delayed Dante actually, not herself. But then we get to reveal the next card. So she'll do that. She'll delay Dante using this, but she's not going to flip over the original card. She's going to get a second card. So we take the salvation, the road deck, and we're going to draw the next one, the bottom one. So we need med kits and gas now. So we need a lot of gas to get the salvation. That makes a lot of sense. Good thing we brought 2 med kits back to the truck already. And then for her second action, she cannot move unless she takes a wound because she already resolved an action. So for her second action, she is going to search. That's going to put the threat up to 1. That's not great, but we do need to take some risks. And we're going to draw a card. We get 2 food and a med kit there. So that's good because we need we need the food. There's a med kit. So we searched there and our threat went up again. And that was Susan's turn. Now we have Ivana Lopez. She's the last one left. She's way over here. If she moves to here, she's going to delay our guy. This is when you move to a location. I don't think that the compound does not count as a location. She could stay there though. I think she's going to stay there. Threat is 0. We'll roll 2 dice. She's going to stay there and spend her entire turn gathering both of the fuels. So she searched around and gathered a bunch of fuel up. That is her turn. That is the last action for her. So now we're going to roll 2 dice here because there's 2 players and the threat is 0. So we want to double check. Okay, we have done everything. So we're going to roll 2 dice there. We get 1 wound. Darn it. Can't seem to get away with that from that. And Ivana will take it because Kai, who is there, already has a wound. So Ivana takes a wound. Then we move over to Jose Barrios. He's by himself there. He's got a threat of 1, so we're going to roll 2 dice there as well. Man, he took 2 wounds. We're not having good luck. We're going to have to go do some healing. So, well, Kai ended her turn there. Why does she have a wound? That's it. Okay, well, anyway. I took... Oh, she had 2. That's right. Well, now Jose's got 2 wounds as well. And then over here we're going to roll 3 dice because there's 2 players there and the threat level's 1. We took 1 wound. That's better. And Susan has no wounds and she can take 6, so she'll take that. That's the threat phase. Now we're going to draw another apocalypse card. Let's see what we get. Another death card. Now you know I shuffled them because you saw me do it. It says nuclear fallout. So we're going to place 2 more Marauders at the fence, which means we got 2 more bikes here. We only got 1 more bike left, and then the buggies start coming out, which means we're getting into trouble. So we're going to have to kill some guys there. I'm glad our guy went back. Each character must reveal a wound, then resolve it if able. Okay. Well, that is no bueno. Let's go do that. So long as she has no wounds, so we're going to resolve one of Ivana's wounds. It is... Oh, man. Let me think we dropped something at that point. Let's see. I wish they had these on the card instead of me having to go to the rule book for this, but let's see what happens with that wound. So we're going to take a look at it. It's right there. It says sprained wrist. The character must drop 1 resource, placing it in the location supply or in the truck if on the compound. She's not in the truck, so she is going to take this fuel, and place it back in the hospital where she's at. Wait, she entered her activation there. Take that back. She didn't have a wound. She entered her activation there. We got to discard that. I got to keep a track of those abilities. St. Joseph's Hospital says if you end your activation here, and she did. She stayed there and gathered 2 resources, so she did not lose her resource. So we're going to go down to Kai. Kai does have a wound on her because she got rid of 1 when she entered her activation in the hospital. Hers is a delayed. So that means that she is stunned. The character becomes delayed. The character's already delayed. She's in trouble, but she's not. So she gets knocked over. She is currently delayed. Then we're going to go to Jose. He's got 2. It says we have to reveal a wound and resolve it. So we'll just take his first one here and see what it is. Ouch. That is a critical wound. Immediately take a new face down wound. So that gets turned up. And I have to get another one for him. He is at 3 wounds. He's got to get back to safety. Okay, let's go down to Dante and Susan Davis. So I think I'm doing poorly already because all the wounds I took. No dice luck at all. Okay, we're going to reveal Dante's wound. He dropped his ammo in the space there. That's fantastic. So we are just having no luck at all. It can't, there's wounds that don't do anything. They're called just injuries and flesh wounds. They don't do anything, and we're not getting those. So Susan gets a another critical wound. Man, well, here's the thing. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. All the really bad wounds are coming out now. I don't know how good that is, but okay. Well, that was it for that card. Let's just finish it off and make sure we've done everything we can on it. It says brown dust and black rain memorials to man's stupidity. Characters in the compound ignore this effect, so Longshi, who was the only one there and he didn't have any wounds, got to ignore that. Alright, and that's going to be the end of that round. Let's do one more round for this video, and well, maybe two more. We'll see. I got plenty of recording time left on my camera. But let's continue on. First things first, we're going to take all the activations tokens off the players. Boom. Boom. We're going to take the binoculars, the first player marker, move them down to Dante and Susan. Okay, now we'll go back to the board and start taking some actions. Well, Dante is going to stand up. He's going to gather a food and use his dog to send it back to the truck. That is going to be his entire turn. Susan Davis does not want to take another wound. She is going to take her full action to move back to the compound, where she can, for free, take one of the med kits from the truck to put into her supply so she can heal herself a wound next turn. She's going to heal that critical wound and get rid of it. Maybe. Okay, then that is so. Well, yeah, actually, I'm not doing Susan yet. Don't know what I'm talking about. Let's take that back for the moment. It's not Susan's turn. That was Dante's turn. He is done. Then we go to Longshi and Ivana. Now, Longshi, he's here. He's got there's no ammo or anything, but he can just take out a Marauder. He can fight. And the fight ability says, discard a Marauder from the fence, roll the black threat dice, one for the hero, 2 for the survivors. He's the hero, and take indicated number of wounds. So he's going to do that. He's going to pop one of these. First action, he'll pop one of these Marauders off the fence. He took a wound, of course, because I always seem to roll wounds. So he took one wound. Luckily, he can take a whole bunch. And then he's going to take that second action again. He'll knock a Marauder off the fence. And he didn't take a wound the second time. So a little better luck there. Alright, so he's got a wound on him now as well. Luckily, he cannot flip those wounds. He never reveals them. That's his special ability. That is Longshi. So now we got Kai or Jose. I think we're going to go with Jose first. He's going to move. First action, move to the compound. Second action, he's going to dump, before he loses it, he's going to dump the fuel and the food in the truck. So now we have 3 food in the truck, so we're going to take this, put it in the 3X spot, take these 2 off, send them back to the supply. I'm bumping everything. Sorry, guys. Okay, and then that means we have these still here. So we got 3 food right now. We've gathered for the truck. You can use the food and the other resources for special things. The food gives you an extra action. But we want to gather all these resources. We know we need food and fuel and med kits and everything else now. So that was Jose. That was his 2. Well, it was a free action for him to move stuff off the truck. And I think he doesn't want to fight. He's wounded. I think he's going to take one of the med kits. He will take a med kit off the truck. He's going to use it next turn to heal himself. Okay. That is it for Jose Barrios. Okay, now that he's there with Longshi, though, he will not take wounds from threats. He's not in a place to roll dice for threats, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, now we go to Susan Davis. Susan, so she had a med kit in her supply. She could use it to heal, but she won't be able to move. Let me think. Well, if she's going to do anything other than move, she might as well just stay there and gather stuff. So she'll gather an ammo and, well, she'll gather the med kit and the food. So she gathered the med kit and the food from there. So there we go. Got 3 things there now. And then maybe she'll be able to get rid of a wound. Okay, that is her turn. Now we're going to go back around to Ivana. She has no wounds on her, and she's in the St. Joseph Hospital. And she's got fuel to bring back to the town, so everybody's coming back this turn, I think. Well, almost everybody. A couple are staying out. So she's going to move back. Wait, when she moves to location, I got to look that up. I don't believe that the compound counts as a location. Yes, she can come back to the compound just fine. It's when she's going to specific locations. When she gets there, she'll take a free move to put 2 fuel in the truck, and that means that we're going to take one of these and take 2 of those and put them back into the resource supply. So now we have 3 fuel and 3 food in the truck. That's not too terribly bad. Okay, well, that is Ivana Lopez, and that's going to make everybody's moves. Wait, we got Kai. Still, we got Kai to go. She's going to be last, so we're going to use her token. She's going to stand up. There's nothing together there, but if she ends her turn, it says may discard an unrevealed wound, so that's not going to help her. She does have a gas. There's nothing together. She could stay there and take another wound. Yeah, it would go up to +1. I think what she's going to do is she's going to search. So she's going to search. It's going to move the threat up 1. You could see her, but I thought I'd center on it. We're going to draw another card. Get 2 food and a fuel. Okay, we'll put that there. 2 food and a fuel. Well, she's going to gather immediately because that's her ability. She can as an action. When she gathers, she then immediately, or when she searches, she then immediately gathers. So I think she'll take another food. So she's got a food and a fuel on her, and she's going to be at that location with +1 threat. So that's kind of bad, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. All right, and now that ends all the players' turns. So now we got to go through the threat phase again. Luckily, none of these people have to worry about it. We only have to. I don't think. Let's double check. And this is kind of a. This is kind of a learning game for me. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right and double check things. Yeah, yeah, threats at the locations, but not the compound. Okay, so we're going to roll here. And by the way, if I'm doing Ivana's ability wrong, if it does include the compound, let me know. But that seems like that'd be awfully harsh. Okay, we're going to roll 2 dice for here because we're at threat +1 and there's 1 player. No wounds for a change. Wow. But over here, we got 2 players and a +1 threat. So we're going to roll 3 dice. 1 wound. Who's going to take that wound? I guess it will be Dante. He can take a wound because Susan's already got 2 and she's got a lot of stuff. So Dante takes a wound there. He's okay though, not the end of the world for him. And that ends the threat phase because everybody else was at the compound. Now we're going to draw our next apocalypse card and see what we get. Famine. So in a 3-player game, we got 2 marauders that show up at the gate. I'm glad we killed them because the ones that we killed just came rambling back. I guess we just chased them off, didn't kill them. Each character drops a resource and is delayed. Characters may discard a food to let up to 3 characters at their location ignore these effects. Well, Dante, discard a food. Well, okay, so the only people out there, and it says, I guess this includes the people at the compound. Well, that's no bueno. They can't discard, they can't each drop a resource, thankfully. So what's going to happen is Susan's going to discard her food. Well, actually, take that back. Each person drops a resource and is delayed. Characters may discard a food to let up to 3 characters at their location ignore it. Okay, yeah, she's going to do that. She's going to drop a food. That means her and Dante get to ignore that effect. And then the only other person around is Kai. She can drop a food, but she's got to drop one anyway, so she might as well drop a food to ignore the delayed effect at least. So she does that. That resource goes away. She would have. Well, remember, she's discarding those as opposed to just dropping them. It's called a heat wave. That's the name of the card, heat wave. You can see that says if we don't eat and stay hydrated, we won't be much good to anyone. So that's the effect of that card. That's a bad card. I don't like that at all. Okay, that is the end. So let's keep going. We'll do another turn, guys. We'll do another turn. So we're going to take the first player marker. It's going to go back up to Longshi and Ivana. I'm going to move all the tokens back off so I know that they haven't been activated. And we're going to take either Ivana's or Longshi's. We're going to move Ivana first because then her nasty bad ability won't affect anybody. I think. And we take these tokens off of here because we have those abilities open up again. And I think we're going to move Ivana to the breached reactor, where she is going to She can take 1 wound. Shoot. Actually, she wants to go to the observer. No, she doesn't want to because there's people there. She'll go to the reactor. She has no wounds on her. Threat's at 0, so she's going to go there, and for her second action, she will search. It's going to move the threat counter up to 1, and we'll see what we get. So 2 medkits and ammo here. So that's going to end her turn there. She has done her thing. And I've marked her as activated. Okay, now we're going to go on to Kai or Jose. Kai, I think for her first action, she's going to gather a food from there, which she's done. And then she's going to move back to the compound, where she will discard the fuel and the food to the truck. Okay. That's going to end her action. Then we go on to Dante or Susan. Both of them are out and about. We're going to go with Dante first. He's going to go, so for his first action, he's going to gather the ammo that's there. He's going to keep it. Why keep it? Why keep it? He can transfer it. As a special ability, he can transfer it to another character. I think what he's going to do, he's going to transfer this to Kai, or to Longshi, who's at the compound. He transferred, so it says, once per round, Dante may send a resource to or take a resource from another character or the truck. So he sent that to Longshi, because Longshi's going to shoot some Marauders off the fence with the ammo. He can get a bunch of them. So that is his first action. For his second action, he's going to move to the hospital, where he can then get rid of, well, he can't get rid of, yeah, he can get rid of 1 of his wounds. Okay. Could have moved to Historic Maldito as well. There's a lot of resources there, but that's what he did. Okay, that's his action. Next up, we're going to have Ivana. No, she already moved. So we're going to have Longshi. So he is going to use the ammo's ability. At the compound, remove up to 3 Marauders. He can also use it to burn it to reroll threat dice, but he's not going to do that. He's going to burn the ammo, so it's going to go back to the supply. He's going to kill 3 Marauders at a space. So, boom, boom, boom. Guess it was an automatic weapon, or at least semi-automatic. He killed a bunch of guys. That was action number 1. Action number 2. He's got 1 wound on him. He is going to go to the historic Maldito for action number 2. Puts him up there. And that's the end of his turn. Now we're going to go to Jose Barrios, who's in the compound still. He's got 2 wounds. He is going, we need to put the medical supplies into the truck badly. But for his first action, I think for his first action he's going to, well, he can take 1 for free. So he's going to take a med kit off the truck for free. He's going to use it then as an action to, he'll get rid of 3 face down wounds, but he's got 2 to get rid of because the other one's face up. So he'll discard those because he is a coward after all. We've got to play in character. And then he's going to move to a location. This is him right here. I think that, where would I move him to? I think I'm going to move him to the observatory because then he can delay and get some stuff done searching. So he's going to move there to the observatory as his next action. Okay, that is Jose Barrios. Now we got our last character is going to be Susan Davis. Susan is going to go back to the compound. She is going to dump 2 med kits into the truck. Okay, that is all the characters again. That was a pretty quick turn. That was everybody though. Everybody's out and about, moving around. Now we got to roll some threats. So Dante up here, he's going to roll 2 dice for threats because he's there by himself and he's got +1 threat in the location. He takes 2 wounds, of course. I am just rolling really badly because, you know, guys, there's like it's a 50-50 chance. And I'm just making sure I defeat the odds. So he has now got 4 total wounds on him. Luckily, he ended his... I forgot to take it off. He ended his turn there, so he got to get rid of 1 of them. So he's got 2 wounds on him. Total of 3, 1 wound that's already been turned face up, and 2 more that are face down. And then we're going to go to Long Shi. He's at Historic Maldito. We're going to roll 2 dice for him. He takes a wound. That's fantastic. Lovely. He is now at 2 wounds. Then we're going to go to Jose Barrios. He is, again, going to roll 2 dice. He took a wound. It seems like I can't not take a wound. And then way up there in the corner, we got Ivana. She's got no wounds on her right now, but she's going to roll 2 dice as well. She took a wound. So everybody's taking wounds from the bad people that are out there in the world. It's way, way violent right now. All right, then we're going to draw our Apocalypse card. So let's get that out. What do we get? Boom. A famine card. That's not good. Okay, we're only going to put 1 guy at the fence this turn. That's pretty good. I'll show you why. Because it says right here, it says each character takes 2 wounds. Oh my god. Well, nobody's dead yet, at least. Okay, and then the flavor text says, the water supply must have been contaminated. Eating is the only way to replenish what was lost. So, let's go get some wounds on our characters. This is bad. Okay. Got plenty of wounds left, thankfully. So, Long Shi's going to get 2 wounds right there. Ivana Lopez is going to get 2 wounds. Then we got Kai. She's going to take 2 wounds. It looks like everybody's got to go to the hospital or use med kits. Jose is going to take 2 wounds. He's almost dead, so we're going to have to do something with him for sure. Dante is almost dead, so we're going to have to fix him. He's got 4 wounds on him. And then Susan Davis is there. Let's look at them. Wow, ouch, right? I mean, I could lose this game pretty quickly at this pace. And we'll leave it in a cliffhanger because we're going to stop right there. There are these 2 guys. We're going to stop the game right there. That's going to be the end of this turn, so we'll pick up the turn next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I don't know how long this game will go, but it is on a timer, so it won't go too long. We only got 2 of our salvation cards up right now. We do have the truck loaded up with food and gas and a couple of med kits, but we know we're going to need more, so we're nowhere near a safe place for leaving on our journey. And then that's the push your luck envelope of this, or push your luck part of the game as you're trying to get to salvation. When do you leave? When do you leave? Well, anyway, we're going to set up for the next turn. I'm going to move this down to move the turn marker down, so Kai and Jose will go first next turn, one of them, and then we're going to go and see what happens. It's really bad with these wounds. We got to heal up. You know, and I can't have everybody go to the hospital or be rolling 10 dice. And you've seen my luck there. That's not good. So I think, you know, we're going to have to pull some med kits down somewhere. I can move Dante over to the... see, if he moves, though, he won't be able to use the med kit. Unless he moves to the compound, takes one off the truck. Well, we'll see. We're going to have to burn some med kits. There's no question about that. Anyway, guys, let's go back to the board. Not feeling too good about my first on-screen game of Salvation Road, because I'm probably not going to win at the rate we're going. It's the wounds. I mean, I'm doing okay in gathering resources and all that. We're keeping the Marauders off the fence. We've been good about that. But it seems like I cannot get any luck with not taking wounds. And that last card was a killer, 2 wounds on each character. So we are going to have to cycle through the hospital pretty frequently, and we're going to have to burn medkits, and we need them. We need them on the truck for our trip. There are 3 medkits out on the board right now. We may have to do some more searching to get them. We shall see. But yeah, that's pretty rough. I've been trying to keep the threat level down too. So we're actually running out of wounds in the wound pool, so we're going to have to recirculate the wounds pretty soon, the ones we've discarded, but we got to get them off our characters. I mean, God, there's 2 characters down to 1 wound left, so we got to heal them. One of them is Dante. The other is Jose Barrios. Now, Jose, he's nowhere near getting a med kit. He'd have to move the compound again to do that. But anyway, we'll take that next turn, see how it goes. So we're in a bit of a pickle here, and doesn't look good for us. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, as always. I hope you're enjoying it. Again, extended my contest out another 2 weeks, starting from this weekend. So I just want to give everybody the opportunity to get in on it. Subscribers, you get like less than 20 subscribers away and less than $20 away from adding 2 games. One for the subscribers, one for the donations to the pool of giveaways. So please jump on that when you get a chance, and I will talk to you soon.